Today, we are diving into a real spiritual mystery, something that comes to us from Professor Kannan Srikant's book, Sacred Nines and the Secret Ties. This is the story of a deity who is so sacred, so elusive, that they only appear to the world for a few short weeks, once every 40 years.
So let me just ask you something right off the bat. Imagine if a divine being was only accessible for a few weeks out of your entire life. I mean, would you make that journey? What would that moment even feel like? Well, for millions of people, this isn't just a thought experiment. It's a profound lived reality. And at the very heart of this mystery is one number, 40. 40 years. Think about that. An entire generation can pass between each appearance. It's an almost unbelievable amount of time to wait for something sacred, which of course makes the event itself that much more powerful.
So the deity we're talking about here is Athi Varadar. He's a sacred form of Lord Vishnu, one of the most revered deities in Hinduism. His story is centered in Kanchipuram, India, and his form, get this, is carved from a sacred fig tree. He spends 4 decades submerged in the temple tank, only coming out for public worship for just 48 days, once in a generation.
But to really, truly understand what this 40-year cycle means, we have to look way beyond our own lifetimes. We need to zoom all the way out and take a journey through the massive timeline of Hindu cosmology, a journey that covers 4 immense cosmic ages known as the Yugas. Now, this map of cosmic time, it shows us something absolutely incredible. According to Professor Srikant's work, Lord Bharadaraja's story isn't just a modern thing. No, it is woven through all 4 of these great cosmic ages, starting in a perfect golden age of truth, the Kreta Yuga, and coming all the way down to our current, and let's face it, more challenging age, the Kali Yuga. Okay, so the story kicks off way back in the Kreta Yuga, this golden age of perfect harmony. And here, the creator god, Brahma himself, performed a great sacred ritual. Lord Vishnu, moved by his pure devotion, emerged directly from the holy fire. This was his very first appearance as this being of pure compassion. Now, as we move into the next age, the Treta Yuga, the story gets even bigger. You might know the famous tale of Gajendra, the king of the elephants. Trapped, in total despair, he cries out to Lord Vishnu, who appears in an instant to save him. And this moment tells us something so powerful, that divine grace is for all beings who call out with a pure heart. By the time we get to the Dvapara Yuga, well, the world had gotten a lot more complex. In this age, even the great sage Brihaspati, who was the guru to the gods, sought refuge and guidance from Vishnu. It's such a great reminder that no matter how wise or powerful you are, there are times when you just have to turn to the divine for some clarity. And that brings us to, right now, our present era, the Kali Yuga, often called the Age of Darkness. But here's the thing, even now, grace is not lost. In this age, it's Adi Shesha, the divine serpent that Vishnu himself rests on, who incarnates to worship him. This shows us that even in the most difficult of times, the divine is always, always accessible. So we've seen his presence across these huge cosmic ages, right? But what about his actual physical form? Where did that come from? Well, the story of his origin brings us right back down to Earth, to a sacred hill called Hastagiri, and a very special tree. The Athi tree, or the sacred fig, is absolutely central to this whole story. In Vedic tradition, it's basically a wish-fulfilling tree whose blossom is so rare it's said to appear only once every 3,000 years. And Athi Varadar is carved directly from the wood of this profoundly sacred tree, embodying all of its divine power. This image right here, it illustrates the whole idea of divine approval in such a powerful way. What you're seeing is the poet Kambar reciting his epic, the Ramayana, when Lord Narasimha, who is an avatar of Vishnu, roars his acceptance. The source draws this amazing parallel. Just as Narasimha's roar validated the epic, a plank from the sacred Athi tree was once used to confirm the divine wisdom of another great text. The wood itself is a channel for divine blessing. All right, so we've covered the who, the where, and the what. Now, let's get into the numbers that seem to govern this whole phenomenon. Why 40 years and why 48 days? Well, as we're about to see, these numbers are not random at all. They are part of a cosmic clock. Sacred Nines and the Secret Ties gives us this really beautiful analogy for the 40-year cycle. Just think about a human pregnancy. A baby develops for about 40 weeks in water and only emerges when the time is perfect. Well, in the very same way, Ativaradar rests for 40 times years in the temple waters, emerging in a kind of divine rebirth to bless the world. It's such a powerful metaphor for a sacred gestation. And what about the 48-day viewing period? Well, this duration has a name. It's known as one mandalam. It represents a complete cosmic cycle in Vedic astrology, bringing together the energies of 27 stars, 9 planets, and 12 zodiac signs. So, to see Ativaradar during this time is to literally align yourself with a full cycle of celestial energies. You know, when we bring all of these different threads together, a really profound picture starts to emerge. Ativaradar isn't just some historical artifact or a local tradition. He represents a living, breathing theology, a divine presence that moves through every single aspect of our reality. So in the end, Varadaraja isn't confined to just one place or one element. He shows up in the fire of a ritual, in the water of the temple tank, in the wood of his sacred form, across the vastness of the 4 yugas, and maybe most importantly, in the hearts of his devotees. He is an eternal presence, and he's always accessible. I really want to leave you with this powerful summary from the book because it just perfectly captures his essence. It reminds us that across all time and all walks of life, from the highest scriptures to the humblest creatures, the story of Varadaraja is a story of boundless compassion. He is truly the giver of grace.